course. It's got a Lego carrot. Got some fireworks or what have you. And an envelope. Presumably to the birthday party. Oh, that was kind of fun. Good backdrop stuff for the live stream at some point. I'm also not quite sure what this one is. I mean, it looks like it's got, well, either Merry or Pippin. But I'm not quite sure what the dealio is with this. It's some kind of war thing? Gates of something or other? Not quite sure. It has a little one ring too, which is pretty rad. Hey, Druid's Fire, nice to see you. Gamer Gramp. Shoemaker. St. Joan, nice to see you. Gonna be getting started in just a second here. I'm on Landreval again, gonna be doing some epic book questing and what have you. Hey, Joego. Here to answer your questions. If you've got any, hit me up with them. We'll talk it out. We'll hug it out. We can talk a little bit about what's going on here in the world of Lord of the Rings Online. I can talk about the LOTRO Beacon. What have you? PAX East. That's not this weekend, but next weekend, right? Next weekend, is that right? Yes, next weekend, PAX East. If you're going to be in the area, if you're going to be at PAX East, PM me, DM me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. I got some swag. Yes, it's old swag, so if you've been properly swagged up by Celestrata or Sapiens and crew in the past, you probably already have it. But if you don't, then you should let me know. Current plan is going to be Saturday evening for the informal get-together. This will be both DDO and Lotro, probably at either the Bell in Hand or Green Dragon. Kind of depends what I find out on Monday. On Monday, I'm flying out to California. Going out to Cali. Yeah, so I'm doing that to meet with Daybreak. And I'm going to see if I can squeeze a little bit of an entertainment budget out of them. But if not, it's going to be particularly informal. And we'll just be kind of hanging out, having some fun, eating some food, talking Lotro, giving out swag, what have you. Do I have news about when Update 20 will be on Bull Roar? Yes, I do. Our current plan is to try to get Update 20, the first Update 20 preview on Bull Roar tomorrow, Friday, March 3rd. I need to work with Tiber and crew to see what we're going to be previewing exactly. I doubt it's everything. They like to target certain things, but tomorrow, barring any kind of last-minute issues that require us to push it off, you should be able to get your first glimpse of Update 20 on Bull Roar. Hey, Arun, over on YouTube. So, yeah, Update 20 on Bull Roar potentially tomorrow. That means you will see a crack at least some of the release notes. Today, I'm going to be publishing the LOTRO Beacon issue 2. Really, it's just a bit of a couple of minor grammatical changes due to your feedback. A little bit less on the exclamation point. Also, today's LOTRO Beacon will be the first time I've been able to get it out in both English, French, and German. So yes, we are going to be getting some localized versions of the LOTRO Beacon out today as well. Expect that probably late afternoon Eastern Time. And so far, the feedback's been really good on it, so that's been great. You know, it's one of those things where it's in some ways as good as the community wants it to be. You know, I do my best to keep on top of everything happening in the world of Lord of the Rings Online, but if you can send me an email, contact@standingstonegames.com, if you got an event or something you want in the LOTRO Beacon, almost guaranteed the answer is going to be sure, we can put it in there. The more info, the better. Any chance to get an NPC Cordovan in the future? I don't know. You'd have to ask the dev team on that one. I don't know. It took me many years to get in Dungeons and Dragons Online. For those who don't know, you can actually fight me in the anniversary dungeon over on Dungeons and Dragons Online. So, yeah. We'll have to see. Maybe I can be hanging out in Mordor or something like that. Hey, Dr. Manny, or Dramani. But yeah, okay, so I'm on Landreval. I'm getting ready to talk to Radagast the Brown, who seems to be wondering why there's this dwarf dancing behind him. He's kind of looking at the camera going, what is with this guy? New raid boss. Oh yeah, no, I don't think I'd be very good at that. See, the basic thing is I gotta be fairly easy to kill, right? Because it's gotta be just like I am in the regular game. Alright, so I guess that's really the big bullet points in terms of what's going on in the world of Lord of the Rings Online at the moment. We do have, our VIP Seat of the Eldar is starting to wrap up a little bit. We're on the bottom half of it, so if you haven't yet upped to VIP and you want to take advantage of that, it's going through the 13th here, so you got this weekend and next weekend really to get that done and log in and get your Seat of the Eldar. And then once you get it, you'll have it basically forever. So hopefully you're into that. But if you're not into that, that's fine too. Kind of up to you. But you have really through the 13th here to do it. So you might want to take a look and do that if you haven't. So. Are we ever going to be able to use colors and signatures in the forum like we were able to use years ago? That is a very good question. I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to. I guess I've never bothered to really dig into it. But it just uses BB code. So if you can do colors in BB code, there should be no reason why you can't do it on the LOTRO forums. I have to check into that. I'm not against colors in the forums, so I guess we'll have to figure out what's going on. I can smell death in the moss, as if it was plucked from an ancient grave. This stench of decay and evil is not a thing from nature. I believe the whites are to blame. Okay. Kill whites. I can do that. We disabled the BB code, huh? I wonder why that was. That's news to me, but then, like I said, I kind of inherited a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'll have to look in that today. If I can enable the BB code and it's not, say, for some kind of security reason or something like that, I'll just do it. So, but like I said, I will need to check with, some of the tech folks, IT folks, to see if there was a reason why we had it disabled to begin with. And if there is a reason, then, maybe out of my control, but otherwise, I don't see why not. So.
Could I speak with you a moment?
All right. Easy enough. Head in the direction of which I am currently going. I can do that. SIGs were getting too long and involved. So, a lot of that is really a personal taste issue. I myself tend to be on the more lenient side of signatures. Frankly, if it were up to me, I don't care if people use GIFs, But I know, based on community history, that in general folks would prefer no GIFs, small images, and, keep things a little more organized. It is a little annoying, to just kind of sit there and have to deal with all sorts of clutter, as it were. But I kind of don't care myself. you know. But I am ultimately, this isn't about what I want, it's about what the community wants. So if you guys want, if there's an issue with including BB code and having it be perhaps obnoxious, it's fine with me, you know. Can leave it as it is. But if folks would prefer to be able to, you know, have colors in that, it's fine too. Yeah, see, Shoemaker, I'm surprised about that too. I thought I saw some colors on signatures too, so I guess I'm not quite sure what the dealio is. But I'll just go into the V Bulletin backend this afternoon sometime and take a look, see if I can figure out what's up. Has a time, location been decided for the PAX meetup? So, like I say, this is a very informal gathering. This is not, you know, say a big turbine party of what you might have gone to in years past. This is saying, hey, we're going to be over at, like I say, probably the Bell in Hand or the Green Dragon, which is a little ways from the convention center, but it is also decent for people who just want to stop by just to hang out with other LOTRO peeps. It'll be Saturday evening. Usually the exhibit hall closes around 6, if I recall correctly. And so what we'll probably do is, after the exhibit hall closes at 6, I'll meet up with folks outside of the convention center for those who don't know how to get there or just want to go as a group. And then we'll just take the subway over to wherever we end up going. Part of it is that we don't have a budget to hire out, say, an entire staff or reserve a bar, unless all of a sudden someone tells me we do. But I need to operate at this point under the assumption that I'm having to do this on my own dime. So I can't afford to do that kind of large-scale operation. So it's going to be real informal, just kind of, hey, let's hang out, let's have some fun. I'll be carrying some bags of swag. There'll be some other LOTRO devs with me. They're going to get roped into carrying some bags of swag. And we're just going to kind of take care of it that way. So you can expect in terms of the when, probably, let's say, people will start showing up around 7 o'clock. And where will be either the Bell in Hand or the Green Dragon, depending on really which has room for us. And then ideally, I'm gonna see if I can't get because the one thing I like about the Green Dragon is they have like multiple floors. So if I can sort of make it happen, I'm gonna try to see if we can get onto one of those floors. But in terms of the way to figure all this stuff out, if you want to, just follow LOTRO on Twitter. You know, I'll just be sitting on my cell phone. You know, I can tweet to the LOTRO account from there, and we'll just talk about it there. It'll be like, hey, we're hanging out. Come on out. And that's how we're going to really handle the PAX East meetup. Okay, yeah, I know. So HTML code is off in forum signatures for security reasons. We wouldn't, you know, if we open up HTML, it has the potential to do some things that, you know, people can inject sort of bad things. So HTML is purposefully disabled as far as I'm aware. But you should be able to use colors with BB code. And I'll double check on that. Oh yeah, hey Half Pint, nice to see you here. Yeah, the Bell in Hand is a really nice pub too, and one of the things I really like about it is for those who may be coming from out of town, the Bell in Hand is, if I recall correctly, America's oldest standing pub. So it's got a whole bunch of kind of colonial history and stuff in it that's pretty rad. So it's kind of just a neat place to hang out. Now, you guys should be aware, in case you don't know, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink alcohol. But, hey, we can just kind of hang out if I don't mind hanging out and having fun and stuff, and I'll drink Diet Coke and what have you. But, if anyone wants to buy me a beer, please don't. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, McVegan Pants, about, hey, you're driving in from New Hampshire. So that is the plan. I mean, regardless of where we are, the plan's going to be Saturday evening after the exhibit hall closes. We're going to make our way over to that area, you know, Bell in Hand or Green Dragon. So that's you can count on that. So in terms of like planning your drive and that sort of thing, you could probably figure 7 o'clock ish will be the time where we'll be hanging out. Starting to hang out. And it sort of goes as late as it goes. I'm up till closing time if I want to be. So I think I'll be well... Yeah, I'll probably be able to stay late, because I'll probably drive in rather than, say, take a public transit. Shoemaker, any new job openings at Standing Stone Games? Stay tuned. We actually have one coming up here pretty soon. I think it was going to get posted this week, but no, I haven't seen it yet, so it's a little early. It's not for Lord of the Rings, though. Let's see, where have I been less? I'll keep heading eastward. So yeah, as soon as it does get formally posted to wherever it gets posted, I'm going to go and probably tweet it out and such on the Standing Stone Games account. By the way, if you are a Lord of the Rings Online player and you're curious about more of the businessy kind of stuff, you should follow us on Standing Stone Games. It's Standing Stone MA on Twitter, and you can just search for Standing Stone Games on Facebook and you'll find it. And it's not a super active account, but it's one of those things that we're going to be doing more of. You know, I'm in charge of doing that too. But we're mostly focused more on company culture and things like that on that account, so. The odds of you seeing what our office looks like are fairly high. If you want to follow us over there. Are the release notes for Update 20 Beta 1 ready? No. Well, maybe. If I'm writing them, the answer is no. If Tiber's writing them, the answer is I will need to check. So no, sorry, I can't post it up today. Will LOTRO officially be at TwitchCon? No. Sorry, can't make it to TwitchCon this year. Ah. Maybe it has been posted. Let's see. I don't see it yet. Shoemaker is saying he saw one for a content designer for DDO on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's the position. If you see it on LinkedIn, hit me up with a link. I didn't know that that's been posted yet. But yeah, that's the position. We're looking for a content designer for DDO. Megovanen to you two. Our performance improvements in update 20. I'll need to check. Performance improvements are going to be an ongoing process that we do, rather than, say, something that is one and done. So you'll see performance improvements happen, you know, over time. Uh-oh. Can I kill him before it's too late? Close. But I don't know specifically what's targeted for update 20 in regard to performance improvements. Like, I know, for example, I'm pretty positive the, like, Minas Tirith work on that is not in update 20, but I'm not sure what all is there. There may be something I just can't think of. Woot woot. Alright, let me speak to Radagast the Brown. Akan Ostguroth. Will we ever be able to upload our own profile pics to the forum? Probably not. There's two reasons for that. We don't allow people to store JPEGs on our content server. And that is because it is possible to embed a virus and some hacking stuff into JPEGs that could be there. So we don't allow people to upload directly to our servers. And at least under the current scenario, the current version we have of the forums doesn't support hosting an avatar image or like a profile image from HTML. So like you can't drop in a URL to get an avatar. So one of those two things is going to have to change before I would be able to allow people to upload their own images like that. McVegan Pants, I was wondering, does the Tolkien family have any say in the game as copyright holders, or do the devs have free reign? They do have say in the game.
There is a certain unpleasant feeling lingering about. Something on the air is strange tonight.
Because they are the IP holders, so their input comes through the approvals process that we do with, say, Saul's Ants and that kind of thing. So they do have an influence on the game. They do have to approve certain things. But, you know, the relationship over the past decade is pretty strong, so they're not micromanaging us for a lot of that sort of thing. Hey, LaChili. Nerendir over on YouTube, what will we change about the lookings of the races? We're going to be doing an avatar revamp tentatively for Mordor, and it'll be, the general goal is smoother animations, better looking characters, perhaps, some updated texture work, things like that. So you're going to see a pretty big difference in the look of your character if you want to. And we're going to have a toggle which will allow you to select whether or not you use the new look or continue to use the look that you say have worked hard for and kind of like to look at. So we're not going to force anyone to change the look of their character, but it is going to be an option here, and hopefully for update 21. But we'll see how it goes. Just to reiterate, when comes the German version of the LOTRO Beacon? That'll be today. I can't guarantee that it's going to be published day and date every week. Basically what happens is I'm usually putting it together on Tuesday, and as soon as I'm done with the copy in English, I'll send it off for localization, and depending on what their deadlines and other work they're doing is, it'll get back either in time to publish on Thursday or shortly thereafter. If they're in the middle of, say, doing translation for, like, Update 20, for example, or something like that, they clearly need to prioritize that work first. But provided they can get it done, the goal is to publish it simultaneously in French, German, and English on Thursday, mid-late afternoon, Eastern Time. What's the LOTRO Beacon? The LOTRO Beacon is something brand new that is a weekly newsletter that spotlights what's going on in the community, what's going on among the LOTRO team. It's got like a kinship spotlight, news, LOTRO store sales, bonuses, fan site news, so like podcasts and blogs, YouTube videos, YouTube series, that kind of thing. And the main goal is that if you only have time to check out one thing during the week, you might want to consider it to be this one, because it'll link you out to all the other stuff going on a weekly basis in the Lord of the Rings online community. And one of the nice things about that is it also serves over time to become a way to catch up on things. Like, let's say you're gone, you're living in a hut in Antarctica over the summer because, you need to find new names for snow or what have you. You can come back and then check out the LOTRO Beacon and figure out sort of what's been going on over the summer, that kind of thing. So that's the goal. It'll be published on Thursdays. You can find it on lotro.com. Well, overall armor design, etc., will be different or mostly the same. I'm not sure how it's going to operate with armor design. That's a very good question, but I don't actually know the answer to that at this point. Any news for classes of the High Elves? That'll be coming real soon. I can tell you Captain's one of them. Can you write me a message on the forum? Yep, just send it to Cordovan on the forum. PM me. Yeah, James Zay has it right. Armor sets sit on top of the avatar, so they may not change, but that depends on if they change the bone structure. That's my understanding of it too, so I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to follow up on that. That's a very good question. My guess is probably not, and the reason for that would be that would involve us having to redo artwork for every single piece of armor in the game, and that seems like something that is out of scope if you already have to redo the animations and everything for every race in the game. So I'm going to guess no, but I could be wrong there. Joego, I'm curious about the toggle. Does that mean we're not adding more appearance options, just changing the current ones? I think it'll be a mix of both. I think the goal is to not only have updated avatars, but perhaps have some new looks in that as well. Can you take a look at the new design, and when you don't like it, change it back again? That, too, is the goal. Yes. Because, you know, we're not going to make you have to make a decision and then regret it, right? So.
This is dire news.
The sheer number of wights in Haragmar indicates the presence of Gauntmen, vile necromancers who serve the Dark Lord. In ages past they dwelled in the witch realm of Angmar, but the White Council believed them all destroyed. Clearly they were wrong. Only the strongest of the Gauntmen, the Gaunt Lords, have the power to summon the spirits of the Shadow Realm. Okay. No, but I do think it's a valid thing to say, you know, in another large MMO that has done this kind of thing, that's how it worked regarding armor. Like I say, I don't know for sure what the plan is, but my guess is that's probably to be a similar scenario. Because, I mean, if you just think how many armor looks are there in the game, I mean, is it realistic to think that, oh, let's just redo them all? Probably not. This toggle option, change your appearance in your client or for everyone. I would, yeah, the answer will be for everyone. You know, it should be noted that this is very early in the design stages. So nothing is final or set in stone or really even visible at this point. This is all ideas and on paper more than it is an actual thing at the moment. But someone had a question that was or a comment rather, about the whole Saul Zantz thing. Isn't it Middle-earth Enterprises that holds the IP? Yeah. I'm not sure what the relationship is between Saul Zantz and Middle-earth Enterprises, but yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about. You know, we submit it to our IP holders, and the Tolkien family has input as part of that process. Should be good. You know, I am not yet ready to answer the question of why should I play a High Elf. You know, it is early in the design and implementation process, so I think that question will be answered later as people sort of figure this stuff out. But in general, you would want to play it because you like the look of it, because it meshes well with the class you're going to play, because perhaps lore-wise it's something that interests you, because you've always wanted to play a High Elf, because they have some benefits that, you know, mesh well with what you're looking for. You know, same basic considerations of why play anything. There we go. There's a gaunt man. Oh no. Oh no. Gosh darn it. Ah. Begone, thou ancient bile spewer. Hey, welcome. I'm here killing Gauntman.
Hello.
Do I think Middle-earth Shadow of War, which is the new game just announced this week by the folks who did Shadow of Mordor, help LOTRO's Mordor expansion sales? I think the games are pretty different from each other. I mean, Shadow of Mordor is about as far from Lord of the Rings Online as you can get in some ways. But to the extent that it brings the Middle-earth world into people's focus again who might not otherwise, sure, you know. I mean, I think one will be largely a console thing, and one will, well, I don't even know if I want to say that. It wouldn't hurt, you know, it's not going to kill anything. But I don't think specifically it's targeted to be some kind of benefit to us or them. In the same way that, you know, Shadow of Mordor really wasn't either. So. Nice. Rather than die, let me, while I'm reading chat, let me heal myself. Coolio. Yeah, Saul Zantz is the owner of Middle-earth Enterprises. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Ultimately, that's a something the quartermaster has to deal with a lot more than I do. Rusty, as someone who is rather dormant in Lord of the Rings Online at the moment, is the team looking to do what World of Warcraft did and add an instant level cap boost if we pre-purchase the expansion? Thinking of subbing back again. Stay tuned on that stuff. We have had conversations about, you know, how we want to get folks into the new content who might be interested in going straight to Mordor, but we really don't have anything to announce at this time. there are quite a few possibilities there, and ultimately I think it's going to depend somewhat on discussions that haven't happened yet. Let's see. Is it possible that I can show my health bar? Yeah. It's at 823. I just would need to mess with things behind the scenes. I'll take that under consideration for next week. Any changes to creep side? No. Not that I'm aware of. Frankly, I think creeps are in a pretty good place right now, aren't they? Certainly have been hearing from a lot of freeps who are getting trounced. But, yeah. There's always work to be done on PvP. But I have not heard of any specific things to deal with creeps. Will race changes perhaps be implemented if we want to, say, change from a man to a high elf captain? It is unlikely that that is going to happen. LOTRO does not currently have the engineering system in place that would allow people to do basically a racial respec. And the reason for that is because of Lord of the Rings class ties to specific races. You know, unlike, say, Dungeons and Dragons Online, where it's really what race you play is independent of what class you choose. I mean, there are benefits to playing certain races with certain classes, but it's not required. You know, since LOTRO has a hard lock on that kind of thing, it's unlikely we can just sort of let people easily respec from one race to another, without also having a system, an engineering system in place that would say, nope, you can't do that. And we don't currently have that system in place. So if we were to do that, we would need to develop it. And that's just not something that is on our short-term agenda here. It would take quite some time an effort to make that a possibility. So I wouldn't never say never on it. You know, it would be a cool thing to have, and it might well make us a little money. But it would not be an insignificant project, to say the least. Phil Boswell has a technical question about Twitch. I am not a Twitch expert, but my understanding is no, it is not possible to do what you want to do, which is to grab the former subs settings and followers, but your latter settings name. I think you can definitely change the name now on Twitch. But I don't think that you can just import, say, one set of followers and subscribers to another Twitch account. That would be a question, though, for Twitch, presumably account support. But I have not heard that that's a possibility. It seems unlikely to me. Because what would stop someone from just sort of hacking into an account and grabbing all that person's followers? Maybe I'm wrong, but were I to guess. So yeah, merging two Twitch accounts, I don't think that's really possible. I think what you're probably going to end up having to do would be to rename your Twitch account to the one you want, and then ask all of your followers to just sort of follow you on your new account. Ah, cool. There should be our 5th gaunt. Sweet. Pretty cool looking. Awesome. That worked out great. I'm gonna head on back to Radagast.
Okie dokie, I'll follow you.
Will the High Elves cost LOTRO
Actually,
points
I can
or
port
be...
you if you want a hunter port.
Ah, it's fine. I'm almost there anyway. Actually, I'm going to stop and grab that Kraban thing. I've still got Kraban feathers to get. I have some pillows to fluff, darn it. I don't know the details about whether the High Elves will perhaps be a part of a pre-purchase, or whether they will be available separately for LOTRO points, and what the timing of that is. That's too early, frankly, to say at this point. We haven't made those decisions yet. No, similar to that, no information on the cost of Update 20 at this point. Too early. Sorry.
There is a gaunt lord here. I have a task for you.
Okay.
What have I done?
I'm just checking out here. Will Beornings ever be grouped raid worthy? Yes. I would dispute, based on the number of Beornings currently in raids, that is not 100% accurate in terms of a statement. But yes. There are currently Beornings in groups and raids. there will be future work done on Beornings. I've mentioned this in the past, but it's worth reiterating that I think goal number 1 for Beorning is to work on some of the bugs and quality of life stuff that really has been, on people's radar for some time now with the Beorning. And then once we get them into that kind of more solid state, then perhaps we'll take a look at what further work needs to be done on the Beorning. Did we reassign people to look into classes? No, not that I'm aware of. I think whoever posted on the forums is likely the person who has been working on classes for some time now.
You got a guy on you. He did.
Yeah. Look, someone wants me to get some XP. I'm all for that. Here, let me give you some XP, he says. A river otter would be fun to play. Yes, it would. I'm down for that. That is my kind of statement. Yes. Whee. Do we have Lord of the Rings linguists consult on the lore nomenclature for items, NPCs, housing instances, etc.? He's always been awed by the attention to detail in that regard. You really have Chris Pearson and Maid of Lions to thank for a lot of that. So I believe we do have consultants in that as necessary, but we also have several, without even exaggeration, what I would call experts on staff, who are highly knowledgeable about things like spelling and pronunciation and lore. And I think that that's a lot of why we've been able to, achieve the level of detail we've been able to do over the years. But yes, we do have the ability if we need to. That's another very good question, Hoya Bella, and I don't know the answer to that. And that question is, will the minimum requirements of the game change with the Avatar update? I don't know.
Might I take a moment of your time? Might I take a moment of your time? What do you need?
That guy doesn't seem very friendly.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Ooh. I like it. I was probably going to have to wrap up the stream here. This seems like a pretty good place to do so. Since we're a couple minutes before the end, I can answer some questions and all that sort of thing and then wrap up the show. All right, I think I'm going to probably pause here for the week. This seems like a pretty good place to stop for the for the show here this week. I really appreciate you helping me out there quite a bit. It was very helpful.
No problem.
Yep. All right, let me get to a couple more questions here. Wrap it up with new music. Can I do that? Maybe. I should probably bookmark it, shouldn't I? Is everyone who streams on LOTRO Stream part of the dev team? No. Most of them aren't. All right, good enough. Hopefully that's not going to get me in trouble there. So there you go. So a couple other quick questions. All right. I think that's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream and youtube.com/LordofTheRings/live. You can find the archives of this and all of our other shows on Twitch and many of them on YouTube as well. We also have a full schedule, 7 days a week. There is almost always a LOTRO stream going on right here on twitch.tv/LotraStream. Check out the Beacon later today to find out. Got some big weekend events coming up. Both musical and otherwise happening in the community, so you can find that stuff out too. And of course, like I say, we'll be getting Update 20 out to preview on Bull Roar as soon as we can. All right, thanks very much, everyone. I'll talk to you again next week.